Okay, so LifeMD just had their quarterly earnings call. And yeah, the results were solid, pretty good stuff. But that's not the real story here. The big headline, the thing everyone's talking about, came from the CEO. He didn't just talk about the last few months. He laid out this incredibly ambitious vision for the future of the company. And that's exactly what we're going to dig into today.
And honestly, this quote from the CEO, Justin Schreiber, really just says it all, doesn't it? He's basically telling us, look, our past performance is great, but the really exciting stuff is what we've been building behind the scenes for 2026. It's all about setting the stage for something big. So let's take a look at what that foundation actually is and what they're trying to build on top of it.
All right, so here's the game plan for this breakdown. We'll start with what they've already done to get ready for 2026. Then we'll get into the 4 big strategic pillars they're focusing on. And trust me, there's some real game changers in there. We'll talk weight management, other health areas, and then wrap it up with the technology that's supposed to connect everything.
So first up, getting ready for an exceptional 2026. And what's interesting is that before the CEO even got into the new stuff, he made sure to point out a few critical things they've already done. He talked about them as, essential building blocks, basically the moves they had to make to even have a shot at pulling off their bigger vision. Okay, let's look at what those moves were. First, getting their own in-house compounding pharmacy, that's huge. It gives them way more control over making personalized meds and helps their bottom line. Then, they sold off a piece of the business called WorkSimpli. Why? So they could become a pure-play healthcare company. The CEO literally said it lets them put 100% of our focus on their main mission. And you can see they're not waiting around. They're already making moves in women's health and behavioral health, plus building out their membership program.
All right, so with that groundwork laid, that foundation set, now we get to the core of the vision. The CEO laid out 4 super clear priorities. I like to think of this as the actual blueprint for the company they're trying to become by 2026.
And here they are. I mean, look at this list. Each one of these is a massive undertaking. They're going to double down on their biggest earner, which is weight management. Then they're going to scale up 2 totally new business lines. On top of that, they're expanding their existing men's health platform. And to top it all off, they're building the tech to bring it all under one roof. So let's start with the big one, the one that's getting all the headlines, weight management. Okay, so let's talk about these GLP-1 game changers. I mean, you can't open a news app without hearing about weight loss drugs, right? It's a massive, booming market. And LifeMD's strategy here is really interesting. They're playing the long game. The CEO said that a huge shift they've been anticipating, a change in how these drugs are priced, isn't just coming. He said it's now clearly underway.
And wow, this slide really shows you what he's talking about. They've been working with the drug makers directly to slash the prices of the big-name brands, drugs like Wegovy and Ozempic. I mean, look at that, a 60% reduction on the starting doses down to $199? That is a massive, massive deal. It makes these incredibly effective drugs accessible to so many more people. And that's the key takeaway here. When the prices of the best drugs on the market start to fall, it just completely reshuffles the deck for everyone.
But wait, it gets even better. The next wave is oral therapies. The CEO said this is even more exciting. We're talking about a pill version of Wegovy, which is expected in early 2026. Think about that. No more injections. And they're thinking it could be priced around $149 a month. That could open the floodgates to millions of people who just aren't comfortable with needles. And of course, LifeMD is planning to be one of the very first companies to offer it.
And this number right here, this is why all of this is so important. 130 million. That's how many Americans could be eligible for weight loss treatment. It's just a gigantic market. So when you combine cheaper injections with a new, affordable pill, you can see the scale of the opportunity here. LifeMD is trying to position itself as the place you go for this kind of care, and they want to grab a huge slice of that pie.
Okay, so weight management is obviously a massive focus, but the plan for 2026 goes way beyond that. It's a much bigger vision. The next pillar is all about scaling their other health businesses, men's health, women's health, and behavioral health. Let's start with what they're doing with their men's health brand.
So their men's health brand, RexMD, is already doing really well. But they're not just letting it sit there, they're expanding it. For one, personalized medications are becoming a much bigger deal, now making up a quarter of new prescriptions. And remember that in-house pharmacy we talked about? This is where it really pays off. By handling prescriptions themselves, they make more money and can control the entire process for the customer. Plus, they're pushing into totally new areas for men's health, like hormone replacement therapy and even dermatology.
And then, beyond men's health, they're making 2 massive new bets. They're launching full-scale women's health and behavioral health businesses. And the CEO is incredibly bullish on this. He said he believes each of these could become a 9-figure business. We're talking over $100 million in revenue within just 3 years. And the early signs are really promising. He mentioned that they're seeing the same kind of customer interest that they saw in their other big success stories.
So this all leads to the final, and maybe the most important piece of the puzzle. You've got weight management, men's health, women's health, behavioral health. How do you stop it from feeling like 4 separate companies? How do you tie it all together into one simple experience for the patient? Well, the answer is the all-in-one technology platform they're creating. The whole idea here is to create one single front door for everything LifeMD does. They're talking about a completely new website and a new mobile app coming out by early 2026. And this platform will seamlessly blend everything together, whether you're paying with cash or using insurance. Imagine an in-app marketplace where you can handle prescriptions from their pharmacy, order lab tests to your house, and jump between different wellness programs. It's all about creating one central, unified hub for your health.
And really, this final quote from the CEO just wraps it all up perfectly. The goal isn't just to be the place you go for one thing. The ultimate vision is for patients to see LifeMD as a true virtual care destination, a one-stop shop where you can handle a whole bunch of different health needs all in one place.
So when you put it all together, what you have is this really clear, ambitious, multi-part strategy to become a major force in virtual healthcare. And it leaves us with a really big question to think about, right? As more and more of our healthcare moves online, are these all-in-one platforms, these virtual care destinations, are they going to become the new normal for how all of us manage our health? It's definitely something to watch.